The Australian National Maritime Museum is where you can explore one of the largest museum fleets in the world. Concession tickets are available and it's free 1 day each month. So Jackson, here we are, we're in Darling Harbour and we're surrounded by dragon boats, submarines and everything imaginable. But what's it all about?
Look, this is the Australian National Maritime Museum here in Darling Harbour, and it's one of the largest fleets of any museum in the world, Fred. We've got 15 vessels from Navy destroyers, Navy patrol boats. We've got a small fleet of beautiful wooden historical vessels. We've got Captain Cook's replica vessel, the HMB Endeavour. And it really caters for everyone that's interested in getting a slice and a taste of what it's like to live on the sea and be on a boat.
So you can actually go on board some of the vessels?
Look, I think that's one of the things that makes our museum unique, in that a lot of our vessels are fully working vessels. So they're still operational. James Cook's HMB Endeavour, we take around Australia every couple of years on a right royal adventure. And visitors can come when she's here in port to climb aboard and experience what that's like.
So what about inside the museum itself?
So inside the museum we've got a range of different displays and amazing artefacts.
So tell us about Ken Warby. Now there's a fabulous Australian story for you.
Look, Ken Warby's story and his vessel, the Spirit of Australia, is fantastic. It's on display here inside the museum. It's the fastest boat in Australia and in the world in its day. He pretty much built it in his backyard.
Wow.
He brought it out and it just screamed across the lake and broke all world records.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to have the boat here on permanent display, and you can really get a sense of this great Aussie story.
So a person visiting Sydney for the first time, or indeed people who live in Sydney, how can they get here?
Well, look, I guess we're one of Sydney's only museums that's on the water. So my favourite way of coming to the museum is on the ferry, and the ferry stops a couple of 100 metres away, the New South Wales ferry. So that'd be my pick. You could get a taste of the harbour coming in, look at all the vessels, and then head off home via the harbour as well.
So is it suitable for all ages, like older people will enjoy it?
Yeah, usually in the summer we have quite a family-friendly program. We've got wet world and water pistol galleries. We take the vessels out and get out on the harbour. In the winter it's a bit more internal and inside. We have a lot of art exhibitions. We have Vikings coming up. We do a lot of stuff on pirates. We have a range of exhibitions inside that tell that maritime story from all different perspectives. But you can certainly board our vessels all year round.
So Jackson, this is the Endeavour. I've never been on board, you know, so it's an exciting experience just to go and look at it.
Well, Fred, welcome aboard. This is a replica of James Cook's HMB Endeavour.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to give you a taste of here today is 18th century seafaring.
You don't think I'll get seasick, do you?
The interesting thing about the vessel is a full one-to-one replica. So everything here is authentic, fully seaworthy. I'll wow you with some facts if you like, Fred. We've got 10,000 square metres of sail on this and about 30 kilometres of rope. So it's something extraordinary, isn't it, when you think about how far technology's come from 250 years ago.
And when you think about it, this would have been the most advanced technological machine, basically, in its day, wasn't it?
Look, in the 1760s, this was the bee's knees.
What a great life and what a great experience. And to think we're here and everyone can do this. You can come on board and you can actually go down and look inside it, can you?
Look, that's the good thing. You can climb over the deck, you can take a guided tour or just explore at your own pace. But what's really exciting is once you get down underneath in the galley and you can see the captain's cabin and see where they cooked and prepared their meals and where their bunks were, where they slept and how they lived.
This is the lead line. The lead line is used to determine the depth of water under your keel. And it's marked every couple of fathoms with a piece of leather or a piece of canvas or whatever, so that the operator could know exactly how deep it was. And so that's your lead line. And the other bit of navigation equipment is the ship's log. This is to determine the speed of the ship through the water. It's a triangle, could be any size, but usually a triangle. Had a peg in a leather sock. It got lead on the bottom of it here to keep it in that sort of shape at sea. You cast it over the stern of the vessel. The spindle here is on a swivel. It's on a line with every 48 feet there's a knot. There's a timer here for 28 seconds. and at the end of the 28 seconds you would stop this rotating, pull it in and count the knots. The vessel like this would normally do about 5 or 6 knots was its normal speed.
This is the cat of 9 tails, and this was used as a consequence of bad behaviour. Now, it was called a cat because the marks that it left on your back was as though a cat had scratched you, and the little driblets of blood, the little swelling, it was as though a cat had given you a good old scratching. But it couldn't be used down here. There was not enough place to swing this cat, so you were taken on board, you were taken on deck, tied up to the rigging, your shirt was taken off, and you were given a good old flogging.
This museum is proudly located at Darling Harbour, near the city centre, a fitting tribute to those who went and go to the sea in ships. Australia's past, present and future as an island continent will always be tied to its maritime history, as it should be.